You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Never here from Drakewing Gaming. Some of you may on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Tennis Ace, K's Path. So let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. I'm going to try and be a little quiet, y'all. People are sleeping. Alright. By the way, I was wondering about something. I know you said you'd let it be my decision since you didn't care one way or the other, so... Do you think we can tell the others about us once we get back home from the competition? If we're already at the I love you stage, I feel like it's time. Whatever you want. Really? You don't mind? Thanks, I was worried you wouldn't be okay with it. Keisuke? I try calling out to him, but all I hear is the soft, steady rhythm of Keisuke's breathing. So you fell asleep, huh? That was fast. Guess cuddling was the right idea after all. It's kinda cute. I decide to follow suit, closing my eyes in the hopes that sleep will find me a little easier this time. But the warmth, the comfort, the soft hair fur pressed up against me, the quiet humming sound of his breath. Slowly but surely, sleep finally takes over me. July 1st, Saturday. The day of reckoning. Having woken up a bit earlier than I expected, I tossed and turned in the futon for a few minutes before finally sitting my groggy ass up on the bed. The first thing I noticed then was that Keisuke was nowhere to be found. Talk about deja vu. Didn't this happen just yesterday too? Wondering if something had happened, I got myself dressed and went downstairs to the hotel lobby looking for him. However, he was nowhere to be found. Oh, good morning, Yuichi-kun. I see you're up bright and early. Seems like it. Am I the first? Nah, Keisuke-kun went for a jog some 20 minutes ago or some such. I'm sure he'll be back soon. Looks like he's got even more nervous energy than I expected. He was out like a log yesterday, so I thought the worst of his anxiety was over. Maybe I underestimated it. Breakfast won't be served for a while. Yeah, I know. I didn't exactly plan on waking up this early, so there isn't much I can do. If anything, it's a bit concerning that I couldn't have a decent night's sleep for 2 days in a row, during a competition of all times. It's not like I can blame insomnia. I managed to fall asleep just fine, but seem to be struggling to stay down. And unlike yesterday, I can't say that a nightmare woke me up. I don't even remember if I dreamt at all. Is Saya not up yet? Nope, at least not that I can tell. What are you even doing? It was only after I walked closer and took a seat that I realized the crocodile was waffling through some sheets of paper, examining them in a way that made them seem really important. My notes. Notes? On you guys, problems I observed, things I think you need to work on, ideas for changes in training regimen, observations, that kind of thing. Oh, that's very coachy of you. The crocodile frowns, putting down his papers and looking at me in bewilderment. I am a coach, you know. It could have fooled me. What? Do those notes of yours say something? What do those notes of yours say about me? Nothing you don't already know. Seriously? You haven't exactly struggled, you know. If I don't see you push to your limits, I can't take notes on what you really need to improve on. That sounds suspect. Believe whatever you want to believe. The crocodile chortles, shaking his head and getting back to his papers. So you know, water time. If what he says about needing to see us push to our limits to give proper feedback is true, wouldn't that mean that Saya and I basically can't get any? I mean, sure, Tanabe exists, but at least in Saya's case, she never really struggles against anyone. Why does it all sound more like an excuse than anything? Nervous? Nope. You sure? Even if I were, that what makes me think I'd tell you. I'm just fine, thank you. Alright, at least I tried. Crocodile falls silent once more, continuing to review his papers, only taking breaks every so often to write something down before going back to reading them. Is each one of those pages about a different player? There's no way. There's more than 10. There weren't that many of us here. Still, not having anything else to do, I sit around twiddling my thumbs and waiting for either Saya-chan or Keisuke to show up so I have someone to talk to. Thankfully, I at least have my phone to distract me until then. If there's one thing I'm good at, it's wasting time on my phone. I call it a special talent. Several minutes pass by while I do nothing of note other than reading up on an article or another about tennis-related news. At one point I begin feeling somewhat restless, wondering if Saya or Keisuke will show up at all when I finally hear footsteps coming down the stairs. Morning! That's a fairly dour greeting for you. Everything okay, Saya-tan? Yeah, thinking of stuff. Like what? It's nothing. The crocodile regards her with interest, watching Saya plop down on the couch next to me before his mouth curves up into a smile. Well, whatever's going on through your pretty little head right now, I'm sure you'll be over it before your match, right? Yeah. Really? That's it? Sai's pretty much a zombie right now, and that's all you have to say about it? You sure you're feeling okay? I wave, I wave my hand in front of her eyes, causing the bunny to sigh and push it away. Stop that, I'm fine. I'm allowed to get down sometimes. It's not sometimes if it's a daily thing. Yeah, well, I'm not going to get as bad as I did yesterday, so you don't need to worry about it. Who says I was worrying? Fine, I won't prod if you don't want me to, but can you at least straighten yourself up a bit? As comfortable as I'm sure they must be, my legs aren't footrests. Those truly are the words of someone that's doing completely fine. Wait, where's Keikun? Don't know, out somewhere. Seems he went for a jog. Huh, he was really nervous yesterday too. Do you think it's that again? Who knows? It's not like he told me anything. Honestly, he could have at least left me a text or something. Competition weeks really are a vicious cycle of stress and relief, huh? If anything, I'm more stressed out about those two than I am about myself. Well, since I have you two here right now, I might as well take the opportunity to say something. Coach stands up, clearing his throat, looking down at us with a smile. I wanted to say, well, I know this ain't the last competition you'll be taking part in this year. I really am proud of you two. It's been a great honor to be your coach for these past 3 years. 1 second now. Water time. I know there have been challenges, but I hope that these 3 years could be a time you look back fondly on and that you'll eventually be able to treasure these memories you've made. After all, high school is one of the most fleeting times of your lives. Compared to this, adulthood goes on forever. The moment I realize where this is going, I immediately check out. I've never been one for this kind of sentimentality, especially coming from someone I barely even like. But somehow, when I look to the side, I see Sai seemingly on the verge of tears. The whole thing is so bizarre to me that I spend the entire time watching her wide-eyed stare instead of really listening. I know it's a little sudden, but I've been thinking a lot about this. Things will get quite hectic for the remainder of the year, and we might not have as many opportunities to talk like this. If you take anything from these last 3 years, I want you to remain open-minded. You two are fantastic players already, but that doesn't mean you should be satisfied with your current levels. Once you graduate and leave to wherever you might go, you'll be bound to meet new people and experience new cultures. Don't be afraid to try new things. It's how you'll grow, both as people and as athletes. And if at any point you need some guidance or even simply someone to hear you out, you can always reach out to me. I let all my former students know that the door is always open for them to come back and rely on me whenever they might need to. I like to think that those good relations are my greatest strength as a coach. Furthermore, the speech seems to go on forever. Whenever I think he's gearing up to finish it, he seems to pick up some extra gas somewhere, rambling on incessantly. By the time he's done, Saya-chan is wiping tears off her face, and I'm trying my best to stay awake, and Keisuke is still nowhere to be found. Some time later. After breakfast, we are quickly rushed into the bus so we can get to the venue earlier than usual. I'm not sure what all the rush is about. It's not like we're expecting not expecting a line for sign-up today. Coach insisted. Keisuke finally arrived halfway through breakfast, but he seemed to ignore me my waving at him and instead sat opposite of me on the table, eating in silence before excusing himself before everyone else. I'm not even sure how he managed to eat that fast without choking. I made sure to get in the bus after he did, though, so I could take the seat directly next to him. The moment I sat down, Keisuke glanced at me briefly before looking away with a pained look on his face. I tried asking him what that was about, but... It's nothing. You're seeing things. Really? That's going to be your response after leaving before I woke up? Literally avoiding me at breakfast and then looking at me weird just now? I'm seeing things? I don't know what else to tell you, Yuichi. You sure have been pretty quiet this morning. Saya leans back, peering at us from the seat in front of ours. Never mind the irony of her saying that when she's currently the quietest she's ever been. I'm trying to focus, that's all. You're not panicking again or anything like that, are you? No. Okay. Saya sits back down, not sounding convinced at all. Not that I can blame her. Well, did you sleep okay at least? You were already gone when I woke up, so I don't even know when you... Sorry to interrupt, but could you give me a bit of space, actually? Oh boy. Huh? I'm sorry, I know it's quite rude to ask, but I need space right now. It's not exactly rude to ask. It's fine you need space, but... How can you say that everything's fine when you're like this? Still, there's no point pushing when Keisuke is being this direct. He's the type to always dress everything up, even when he really shouldn't. If he's going as far as interrupting me, then it's best that I leave well enough alone. Besides, Keisuke is good at communicating. I'm sure he'll tell me what's going on whenever he feels up to it. A few minutes later. Upon getting to the venue for the last day of the competition, the first thing I do is stretch my stiff body. The trip might not be that long, but doing it so many days in a row while also working hard every single day starts to take a toll on you. I briefly look around, noticing that, as expected, the number of people around is much smaller than the last few days. Alright everyone, I'm gonna talk to some of the tournament staff. Make sure to get your bags out of the bus and get yourselves signed up at some point in the next 30 minutes. The matches start in an hour, so I'd really prefer if none of you were late. You say that every day. Can't we consider the message delivered already? You can never be too sure. Rolling my eyes, I head to the side of the bus, grabbing my bags and pulling them up to my shoulders. I'd expect Sai and Keisuke to be right behind me, but the two seem to be lagging behind. Sai is standing around by the bus's door in a daze while Keisuke hasn't even come out yet. Are these two gonna be okay? Here, Sai-chan. Huh? Oh, thanks. Did you hear a single word of that what Coach was saying? He said something? Yeah, I have serious concerns about this. Do you need to talk to, or do you need someone to talk to or something? No, I'll be fine. I need to work through this on my own. You sure? You definitely needed the help yesterday. I know what I'm feeling now, and so it's easier. Knowing is half the battle, right? I'm not so sure that applies here, but you do you. And Keisuke isn't any better either. What do you mean? Isn't he here? He hasn't left the bus yet. How have you not noticed that? He wasn't. He hasn't? Huh. Weird. I swear to God. Yo, Keisuke, how long are you gonna... Oh, sit around... Oh! I walk up to the door, peering inside and calling out to my lethargic boyfriend, only to come face to face with the hair stepping outside the moment I do so. I'm here. There's no need to yell. Sorry, I thought you were still in your seat. I was merely collecting myself. Collecting yourself? Like, from the floor or something? I'm not quite sure what that's supposed to mean. Are you feeling better, at least? Even if I was feeling badly, I sincerely doubt a sub-20-minute bus trip would make me feel better. So that's a no, then. It is nothing. I am merely objecting to the premise of your question. I am not feeling bad in the first place, so there is no need to feel better. Boy, you sure are a pain in the ass when you get like this. And why is it that you always seem to talk like an old man at times like this? That's a dead giveaway. Sai-chan, can you please talk some sense into him? One second, y'all. Oh, God, I'm not used to sitting in this chair. Oh, I'm at my parents' right now, visiting. Trying to get comfortable. There we go. Okay. Saya-chan? Huh? Sorry, did you say something? You two are a nightmare! Yuichi, I appreciate the concern, but I really need some alone time right now to focus. Being around you makes it difficult. Wait, being around me? Why me specifically? Oh, that's a figure of speech. Like hell it is. Are you gonna tell me what's going on eventually? Yes. Fine. Fine then. I won't push. Just do whatever you need to do. Thank you. For the first time today, Keisuke actually flashes me a smile, and even a brief strained one. The sight of it only serves to make me worry even more, though. I'll talk to you both later. Keisuke grabs his bags, closing the baggage door of the bus and walking off right after, even going through the trouble of turning around the back of the vehicle as if to disappear sooner. I wonder if this is something Alexander taught him. A way to use your surroundings to disappear from sight easier, maybe. Well, I guess Keisuke is a bust. What about you, Saya-chan? Want to do something until we have to head inside? Although I float the question to her, I might as well be talking to a wall for all the good it does me. Seriously, woman, what use are those huge ears of yours if you won't listen? Saya-chan? I try calling her again, but she still faced no response. Is this a software freeze or something? Hello, Earth to Saya? The hell is going on with you two today? Is it rabbit hibernation season or something? Saya! What? Here, I'm here. Yes, I know that you're here. What the hell is going on in your head? You're basically a zombie right now. Give me a break. I'm thinking of a lot of stuff. I don't usually have this much to think about, so it's taking me a while. And I can't focus with you barking at me every second. I don't bark. Yip, woof, boof, call it whatever you want. Just do way less of it. What the... I don't bark, and I certainly do not yip. You know what? Forget it. You both are hopeless, and I'll do much better alone right now. Thanks. She replies in the same lazy and interested fashion as before, the brief display of attention having already long disappeared. Okay, I'm surrounded by weirdos today, and being around you two is not great for my mental health, so I'm gonna go stand way over there to the side. Is it something in the water, maybe? It has to be to knock both of them out at the same time. Maybe I'm immune. God, I always knew I was awesome. Okay, yeah, even thinking of silly jokes isn't doing much to cheer me up. I hang out by a nearby wall, leaning against it and browsing on my phone while glancing up every now and again to watch the people passing by. Saitan is, as expected, still walking around in circles by the sidewalk while muttering something to herself like some sort of lunatic. Has she finally snapped? Is that what's happening? Is this when I'm supposed to start running for my life? I've lived a good one already. Other than that, there isn't much to occupy my mind. Even my phone is shockingly uninteresting at the moment, so I end up focusing more on the people than anything else. I see a lot of the same faces I've grown accustomed to over the years, minus a few regulars here and there. I wonder if the other competitors are as on edge as the three of us here. Zanabikun isn't really the type to worry too much about on the day of a match. He gets all of his anxiety and worry out of his system in the week preceding the competition and is all businesslike once he's actually there. His opponent in the semifinals, though? Oof, that guy's probably sweating bullets right now. I think the fourth seed did manage to get to the semifinal. In that case, his opponent would be... God, who's number 4 right now? Sasakibe? One sec, I checked the list real fast. Let's see, number 4 seed... Ah, here he is. I was right, Kajiro Sasakibe. I think I played against him last year when he was a lower seed. He's a serve and volleyer, if I remember correctly. Alright, y'all, I'm actually going to pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribing, that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Alright, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and go for the evening. I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye!